Hello, wonderful beings. All right, here we go into Alchemy 301. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the details about consciousness innovation and quantum reality creation as I understand it. And like I always say, there are a million gazillion ways to do these things. So you want to find your own artful, creative, genius, masterful ways of sourcing this, and hopefully some of the things that I'll point you towards, you'll be able to see, oh, I could do this and that, and it'll open it all up for you. So let's talk about consciousness innovation first. Okay, so consciousness is a funny word now. Now I'll tell you why it's a funny word. It it used to mean something like out there to me, and probably to many others too. It was kind of like a storage, a warehouse of information and past stuff and future stuff and wisdoms and all kinds of interesting things. For me, when I first started, it was like a library or a warehouse storage of all this beautiful information from forever. And how that's changed now, and part of what we've been creating, is that now it's a kind of living, pulsing intelligence, you could say. And perhaps if we use that analogy, the body of consciousness is the quantum field. And the intelligence, the sentient intelligence of the universe, the quantum field of possibilities, is now living like a soup around us, and within us as well. So we are part of it. We are plugged into it. And so when you want to do consciousness innovation and quantum reality creation today, basically how that occurs, as you've probably heard me say many, many times, it's the deep core emotive births that activate it. But it's also this profound relationship that we have where you can become the universe, become source, become consciousness, quantumness, possibility, the all, etc. So what happens when you want to do consciousness innovation? It occurs slightly differently for me than when I'm doing quantum reality creation. So when I'm doing consciousness innovation, I'm more like the vista changes for me. So I'm more like looking at the vista of consciousness possibilities. And across, if I take it vibrationally, across this level is the kind of constrictive, restrictive, normal human consciousness, and maybe a little bit below that. But it's a kind of like a framework of beliefs and thoughts and how things have always been. And it can tend to build a box around you, a frame for your life that can limit you. But that vibration is kind of like, if I was going to give it a sound, it would have a very kind of dull, normal, low-level sound. It's okay. People can live there quite happily, but it's a little dull. And it doesn't give you anything new and exciting, really. Now, if you notch that up a bit in the consciousness vista, and you come into what we're talking about, the sentient intelligence of the universe and the whole air we breathe being the quantum field of possibilities and ideas and genius, and the generative space of how we bring newness into place. So again, when I'm working in consciousness innovation, I'm kind of working like, here's the consciousness vista, and I could become it, become the all, become whatever, but it kind of occurs to me like I'm looking at a playground of something, and then I find myself moving into innovative creation with it. And it's a partnership, because it's gifting you ideas and possibilities, but you're bringing your infiniteness, your va-va-voom, your genius, your mastery, your fresh thinking, you could say, or fresh creation even into the creation of consciousness innovation. Now, if I wanted to do quantum reality creation, that would, the vista kind of changes for me when I'm doing that. So when quantum reality creation, it's more like, oh, how would I say this? Wow, this is tricky. It's more real. Not that the other isn't real in its way. When I say real, I don't mean like true. I mean real, like present, actual. Here, it's more here. When you're working on consciousness innovation, you're bringing something into place that isn't here yet. And when you're working on quantum reality creation, you're working on what's here now, like coming to a whole new level of itself. It's like exhilarating the cells of reality, or remaking the way it's all woven together and how we connect, and et cetera, et cetera. It's so exciting. Both of them are so exciting. And I almost think for me that consciousness innovation feeds into quantum reality creation. Now, if I could give you an example of that. Okay, so rather than me pick an example, I'm just going to dive straight in and see what might want to happen right now in terms of consciousness innovation and quantum reality creation, how they feed into one another. Okay, so if you want to join me in doing this, feel free. Okay, here we go. Deep breath, high frequency. Think of something you love. Become the all. Now, see the vista of consciousness there, weaving and dancing and playing. And it is a sentient intelligence, and it's a quantum field of possibilities. And it's like, it's a playground of creation. And then just see what you and it as the all, as source, as universe want to create as innovation in consciousness today. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was so interesting, because immediately I thought, I'm touching on to what I would call source consciousness. And it sort of already exists, source consciousness. And it's very different from human consciousness. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, I want to begin to write something about this. Like, what's the difference between source consciousness and human consciousness? How does it lay out differently? And I could see it's all there ready to just download, that it wouldn't take me any time to kind of stream that through and say what that is. So if you wanted to know, just for example, a couple of things about that, well, I've got it. So in human consciousness, there's linear time, past, present, future. We're measured by time. We're set in matter. We're set in terms of our thinking, our approaches, etc. In source consciousness, there's a forever now moment. And in that forever now moment, all things are possible, and everything can quantum leap and burst into its next new quantum possibility. It's quantum evolutionary source streaming newness. But it doesn't occur like breaks in time and breaks in matter and breaks in becoming. It occurs like a continual movement of something that's just extraordinary. Ooh, that's exciting. That's one example. So let me give you another example of the difference between human consciousness and source consciousness. With human consciousness, things are set. There is a chair, there is a house, there is a career, there is a a boat, a car, you know, things are very set. With source consciousness, where you gaze, everything is morphable. And there's a word, deliciously, morphably unfolding into its, I want to use the word ineffable because I looked that up yesterday. Undescribable, ineffable brilliance and beauty and newness and becoming. So you can see the difference between human consciousness and source consciousness, right? And source consciousness was just ready to come through and ready to be in the world. And so if I'm now going back to consciousness innovation, I replace human consciousness. And I say I, we, universe, all of us together, replace the human consciousness. Boom, it's like, it's not pushing anything away. It's like, oh, there's the consciousness that wants to thrive in this planet now, in every cell of us, in every breath of us, in every gaze of us. And I can feel it now it's rippling through reality. So there I've taken it from consciousness innovation into quantum reality creation. So I'm rippling it across reality, and then now I'm doing quantum reality creation, and there it is, it's in reality. So I don't know if you could see the difference. So here I had this vista of consciousness where I was innovating something new, a new possibility, a new concept, and then bringing it into reality, and all doing it as the all, and moving it through reality, through the cells of the earth and life forms and us as humans and our cells and our DNA and our everything, and woo, source consciousness replaces human consciousness. So there you go. That's an example of it. You can see I just love this stuff. So what we're going to do in this month-long series of Alchemy 301, we're going to choose things that we want to see being remade in the world. It could be the way education operates. It could be the way governments are. It could be the way the world sees boundaries and borders. It could be how humans view themselves. It could be our relationship with oceans, with nature, with animals, with, you know, all kinds of life forms. Anything at all. Can use your own life if you want to. There's something there that you want to do. And we're going to work these projects through while you see how you go into consciousness innovation, quantum reality creation, and then how that powers up in the world today. That's exciting, isn't it? Okay, that's it for our first video on consciousness innovation and quantum reality creation. So excited to dive in.